The Mud. I asked him to tell me the story of the war. I asked him once, I asked him twice, and thrice, again, once more. He shook his head as he had done for many a year to date. He looked so old, so frail and lined, I feared I was too late. For 40 years his silence held, my pleadings did not sway. I knew that short the memory would soon some vile trick play. Then one day he said at last, there was a lot of mud. I urged him on to speak his mind, yet knew to hold my tongue. He looked so weary and so sad, as shrunken hands he wrung. His voice was soft, his tone was low, yet every word was strong and slow. The wet was wet with rain and rain. The land it drowned in the vast plain. And the world became a sucking bog, full of greed, a hungry hog. Slippery and thick, treacherous and dense, we waded in a swamp that made little sense. We crept and we crawled and we burrowed chest deep, and clambered over bodies that lay in great heaps. We slept in the mud, covered deeply in grime. It swallowed and choked with no rhythm or rhyme. It weighted our clothing from head down to foot. It filled every cavity, mouth, ear, pants and boot. For all kinds of sickness, our skin played the host. You were lucky to lose a leg, if a leg was all you lost. And the itching and the biting and the scratching from the lice, and the knowing and the feasting from the rats and the mice. And the fat flies in droves, swarming in a haze, devouring the dead as blankly they gazed. And the stench in the trench, so putrid and foul, it brought on the madness, it loosened your bow. And the banging and the firing of artillery shell, bombardment and barrage sounding the knell. Mustard gas consuming the throat and the lung, blistering the skin, burning mouth, face and tongue. Then the captain's whistle to go over the top, over fallen comrades, we nimbly must hop. During the night, from the mud dug them out, with spades and hands and sticks that were stout. Then the skies relented, and for a little while, the sun returned with its warming smile. We drained trenches, filled sandbags, mined new ones too, polished bayonets, read letters, and remembered those who were crying and waiting and hoping and praying that those whom they loved would soon be returning. We fought in the mud, and we died in the mud. That was vomit and urine and corpses and blood. There were nameless bodies and bodiless names, willing players of this great war game. Now side by side at Menin Gate, too young, too soon to die, too late. We remember the thousands in statuary and stone, yet hundreds more will never be known. And marble and granite adorn the green for miles. So if I say nought, and just linger here a while, just to look at the field of poppies that glow blood red. And remember, my friends that are dead.